Interface. If Liv came this way, she may still be in range of my personal communicator. Liv, do you copy? Olivia, are you there? Still jammed. No choice but to follow her trail for now. The cabin is pressurized, but the air is reading unbreathable. Could it be the biomass? This is similar to the emergency junctions on the Kronos. I may be able to redirect the power flow, but I'll need to cut this cover off first. The data displayed here does not match any code or language listed in my database. A large compartment, roughly humanoid in shape. This could be a staging area of some sort. It looks like I can access the ship's infrastructure from here. Those spores could be what's contaminating the air supply. The spore decimated in contact with my cover. Maybe I can clear some of the contamination. Widespread biocontamination. I should be careful. The biomass over there went dormant when the power failed. It seems to be tied directly to the vessel's power grid. This bulkhead is sealed. Maybe I can cut through to reach the locking mechanism. Locking mechanism released. Now to pry the door open. These spores detonate on contact. They would deplete my radiation shield in short order if I don't avoid them. Something's pierced the hull. This appears to be releasing spores into the air supply. A bioweapon, perhaps. I can re-enter the main cabin from here. I'm able to draw power from this. I can use it to replenish my radiation shield if necessary. Curious, these warheads don't match anything in my database. What is that? Strange. This area is highly irradiated. My scanner might help me find a safe path across. One of the doors here must still have power. These warheads are leaking radiation. They must be armed. Electrical relay armature. The weapon's loading mechanism. Radiation levels falling. The warheads here must be unarmed. This door is in power. I'll need to find another way forward. This device is holding an electric charge and is linked to nearby equipment, probably a capacitor of some kind. It must be what's powering the induction panel. seems repulsive. The cysts appear to react to external energy sources, just like the biomass. Only the reaction is much more hostile. I'll need to steer clear of them.
Echo Unit Prototype Android. Obsolete design. Designation Jack. How interesting.
You've infected my cortex. Why?
It was necessary to make a threat assessment. I am called Apollo. I mean you no harm. In fact, I need your help.
Sorry. There's someone I need to find.
So I surmised. Curious. Prospecting robots don't perform search and rescue functions. But then, they don't have names either. I would propose a bargain. You help me repair my cortex, and I'll help you find who you're looking for.
You've already invaded my core systems. Why should I trust you?
The nature of the repairs will require you to access my essential systems. A significant risk on my part. Consider it a trust-building exercise. I understand what I'm asking is difficult, but neither of us has the time for careful considerations. I suggest you decide quickly. You know where to find me.
I have some questions before we begin.
Fixing my cortex will likely take some time. If you begin the repairs, I'll do my best to satisfy your curiosity.
Where do I start?
My heat sinks are depleted. They must be refilled from the coolant reservoir. You can access the heat sinks from the maintenance consoles.
Raising heat sinks.
The neighboring controls actuate the coolant valve. Use it to refill both heat sinks. Good. The process is working. Coolant transfer in progress.
Transfer complete.
Now, return the heat sinks to their enclosures. I've been operating at diminished capacity since we came under fire. You have no idea how good that feels.
Your ship emerged from some sort of spatial anomaly. How did you get here?
Our ship sustained damage. I attempted to execute an emergency jump. Unfortunately, our power grid failed while the engines were firing. My knowledge of the event is limited at present. The power surge damaged part of my neural processing net. You'll need to enter my cortex below and repair the damaged cores.
Who attacked you?
Tactical data on the conflict is restricted. I'm unable to share that information. Parts of my cortex have experienced damage. I will attempt to identify the malfunctioning cores.
This looks like an electronic interface.
You can use your scanner to upload to the rewrite terminal.
Damaged core acquired.
I can repair the logic circuits using the rewrite terminals on the center column. Bring the core there.
Logic core in place.
Scan the I/O port to transmit the necessary data.
Upload complete.
Rewriting logic core protocols. Firmware instructions reset. Please seat the core back into my cortex.
Logic core repairs completed.
Establishing new connection. Keep going.
What sort of ship is this? I have no record of a spacecraft so heavily armed.
I'm sorry, Jack. The Astrea's tactical specifications are restricted.
Patching neural net.
Uplink successful. Restoring logic connections. There are more damaged cores. We'll need to replace them all before I can bring my systems back online.
What function do you serve aboard the Astrea?
I'm in charge of tactical advisory, targeting, and fire control systems. I'm also in charge of managing emergency situations. Core linkages restored. Half of my cortex is back within established parameters.
Your ship arrived at great speed. How do you maneuver a vessel of this size?
The Astrea utilizes a Category 3 Casimir faster-than-light propulsion system powered by spatial dilation. The size of the craft is irrelevant.
Faster-than-light travel is currently impossible.
On the contrary, a vessel of this size would be impractical without FTL propulsion. Nearly there. The final core should bring all my systems back online.
Tell me about your ship's origins.
I'm unable to share relevant military data with a civilian model. Excellent work. All logic faults have been resolved. Thank you, Jack. I admit, I had my doubts that a prospecting model could perform such a procedure. Return to the main terminal above. You should be able to fully restore my systems. Core functions online. Testing neural network connections. All systems optimal. Now, to locate my crew.
That wasn't our arrangement, Apollo. You're supposed to help me find Liv.
You misunderstand me, Jack. To locate your friend, I'll need to connect to the ship's diagnostic systems. That will require an officer's command codes. Your goals and my goals align. I've restored power to the exit. In emergency situations, all essential personnel are evacuated to a command bunker. We should seek them there.
Do you have any intel on the biological infestation?
Tactical data is limited at this time. Based on my preliminary analysis, a weaponized superorganism, polymer-based synthetic, capable of consuming all carbon-based chemical structures. Physical contact with active material is not advised. You're nearly there. The crew quarters are in this wing, just beyond the main control room. This is the TACCOM station. We can scan the ship from the terminal here once we've awakened the crew. The cryo chamber should be nearby. This is it, Jack. We have arrived at the cryo chamber. Some of the pods are still operational. To revive the crew, we'll need to restore the power grid.
How can I reach the power systems?
The emergency generator is beneath us. Look around for a utility hatch.
The contamination is increasing in density.
The biomass feeds on power currents. Reactivating the ship's systems may make navigation more treacherous. We should proceed with caution. That's the generator up ahead. The fusion reaction is completely inert. We'll need to execute a jump start.
How do I reboot the system?
We'll need 3 power cells to complete the procedure.
I'll collect what we need. The generator is offline, but appears intact.
We can restart the fusion reaction using standard power cells. You should see what you can scavenge from the surrounding area. Positive contact. The power cell is in place and ready to fire.
I'll look for additional cells. This power cell is drained. We'll need to find a way to recharge this before returning to the generator.
Negative contact. We'll need to fully charge this cell before the ignition mechanism will accept it.
I should be able to use this to recharge a drained power cell.
It's working. The power cell is accepting the charge.
Another unpowered cell.
We'll need to recharge this one as well. Injecting fusion material. You can now use the console to bring the generator back online. Be prepared to move quickly. Radiation levels will climb rapidly once the reaction begins.
Power current stable. Radiation levels climbing.
Quickly. We should return to the cryo chamber. We may be able to revive the crew.
Clearing radiation zone.
Excellent work. Now, we must revive the crew. The hibernation controls at the center of the room can release the security protocols and begin decompression.
Accessing cryogenic systems.
Once the security protocols are released, you should be able to decompress each pod by hand.
No sinus rhythm. Negative respiration.
E.T. Miller. Unfortunate. Sensor expertise would have been invaluable.
Apollo, these are Atlas personnel. My captain and I are members of the Atlas Initiative.
Captain Olivia Rhodes, Prospecting Division. Disappeared 400 years ago in 2126. A very impressive file.
Disappeared?
I am sorry, Jack, but the Echo model has been obsolete for centuries. It is overwhelmingly likely your commander is dead and that you are malfunctioning. Gunnery Chief Giles, very resilient. A discouraging loss. Ensign Lightman, Fire Controlman. 23 years old. Barely old enough to hold a commission.
Looks like a senior officer.
Lieutenant Commander McClintock, Head of Tactical Ops.
Apollo, if the biomass compromised this cryochamber, it is unlikely any other...
I have a duty to this ship and her crew. I must be sure. If we collect the commander's biometric data, we can use the TACCOM station to scan the rest of the ship for survivors, including your captain. Open the pod and find the I/O port on her spacesuit.
Data collection complete.
Processing. Access code acquired. I should be able to access the diagnostic systems. Now, please, Return to the TACCOM station and link me to the main terminal. Help me upload to the main terminal here. Once I've brought the diagnostic systems online, it should only take a moment to scan for survivors. Mainframe access achieved. Initiating scan. Please stand by. No. There has to be more.
Apollo, what's happening?
There's no one left. I have failed.
Apollo! Apollo! The safety of the Atlas Corporation is your responsibility. Live is your responsibility. Apollo, please, don't let me fail my mission.
Emergency. Urgent distress call follows. Kronos 2 station compromised. Life support failure. All hands have abandoned ship.
Your station. It shouldn't exist. Kronos 2 was destroyed by a cosmic event.
Liv is alive, Apollo. This is 2126. You were that cosmic event. You can still help me save an officer of the Atlas Initiative.
Accessing security logs. Please stand by. I have detected an electrical disturbance in main life support. It appears someone is trying to access environmental control.
Liv, she's alive. How do I get there?
I'm opening a channel to your station's adjutant. I believe I can commandeer one of your Fury transports. You should be able to reach it through the airlock in this room.
Shields at 95%.